Okay, I got my fuel tank from Empire Metalworks here. It's the two main pieces. And then I got end caps. End caps here and baffles. Okay, everything I've read says this will be fine. I just got to do it. Gas tank is all drained. It's pretty well filled with soapy water. My bend looks a little less good than the Empire Metal stuff, but it'll work for what it's for. So this, I'm just putting in here. Those little pieces are going to punch right in there like they did in the factory tank. I was going to build a fancy baffle for this thing, but I don't see the reason when this will work just fine. Got room for fuel to get in and slosh around and stuff, and this is already made. This is already made just for this sending unit and everything, have room for the float and all that stuff. So just going to reuse it. Okay, I'll change out the welder here. This is 70S 6-wire. This is some stainless stuff. And I also picked up some S3 and S2, which is supposed to be better for the galvanized of the body itself. Wow, that stainless warps like crazy. Wow. Okay, I took some measurements from the corner and the end to get that thing centered up perfectly in here. And with a combination of piece itself, tape measure, and some calibrated eyeball, I will be able to plasma cut this, and this will slide right in there. Okay, figuring out the fuel filler neck, and I'm gonna go with 30 degrees to get this to fit about right. Okay, doing this corner to corner weld. That was the easy part without much warpage. Now I gotta get this to weld together too.
Maybe we'll just have to hang on it, because if you can't get a click on it. All right, there it is. That son of a bitch is tight too. Nice. Very nice.
Tough to even get the torch in there, but I got those tacked in. Let's go do the other side. Okay, I mocked this thing up in the trunk. You're looking at it upside down here. Here's the top. And this is how this is going to need to go. Got my spacing figured out. That one was just checking to make sure my math was right, so I had a nice tight gap all the way around there. And this one here has my 150 thousandths offset built in, so that when I use this little guide with my plasma, the hole in here should be this size. Yeah, that did not come out nearly as good as I had hoped. I'd done a template before with 1/8 inch material. I kind of forgot that, and I made this template out of 1/16 material, which did not seem to be a good choice. So I've got a carbide burr. Try and clean it up a little bit, but I was really hoping that would be cleaner. These welds are looking terrible, but as long as they work. Brace this thing up. Got it all set. So this is my vent, fuel fill vent, fuel fill. Okay, this worked pretty good. Bought a couple of these Dorman 3/8 nylon connectors here that'll go straight into my Corvette fuel regulator. And I saw a trick where you have a little tool to hold these nylon. This is actually for AN steel line that I use for 37-degree flares, where you just clamp the line in there just like you would a steel line. I had to put this little bolt here, keep this thing just from sliding in the vise. And then you just give it rapid taps with a hammer. No real big whacks, but just rapid taps, keep it moving, and slides right on there. No damage to the line, as you can see. You can almost see those little serrated rings that it holds with. And you just click that little clip back in there and you're good to go. My line had these two 90s on here, which made it a real pain compared to this one because they were at such a different angle, heading in opposite directions. So this alleviates that problem. I think fitment will be decent, and if it's not, what would probably be the best is a 90 on both of these, going straight to the regulator. And Dorman does make these 90 degrees that you can plug in there the same exact way. So if that will fit better, that's what I'll end up doing with both of these. I'll shorten them both up a little bit and put 90s on both of them. So I kind of forgot to get a video, but this is a Walbro 255 HP. Took the stock pump out of here. This is just a 3-1 Beretta pump. This crazy little fuel hose. 2-pack on Amazon, like $8. Way too long, but I think it will still work fine. And this should drop in the factory bucket like nothing. Come on. So these nylon fuel lines have a little bend to them. I think that's what's screwing me up here. Gonna need 2 hands to get this thing sitting in here just right. But these fuel lines, I bought a couple 90s. I already put this one end on here. Bought 90s for both of these, where they're gonna go straight into my Corvette fuel regulator. Okay, it's in, ring installed, and I thought I had everything lined up just right. But this is hitting here. So I'm guessing the mistake I made was it needed to be closer to the back here. I kind of centered it up with that one part of the hole. Probably needed to be further back. Okay, I got this thing fingered out now. Just had to cut it up. This is a lot shorter now. And I did some rebending here too to bring it this way a little bit. Okay. Now we're all good. So I did notice that's going to show full way before it's full. But this is actually about the same height as the factory tank. So it'll run full for a while. But showing me full for a while after I fill up is not a big deal. As long as it tells me when there's no fuel. And that looks good. Had to do some trimming and bending to get this to start. This ain't exactly the shape it's supposed to be anymore. It's working. There we go. Bigger hammer. The key to life's problems. Bigger hammer. I guess doing my last welds here. I'm finally starting to figure out how to make stainless okay. Okay, I'm checking for leaks. I did a 6AN drain port here that allows me to use this fuel thing that I use for my test run of my engines. And we'll go around all the seams, see if I got any bubbles. Yep, found a couple. These are some of the first welds I made, so didn't come out so great. Okay, I did have to buzz a few spots. Marked them with a Sharpie, then hit them with the welder. And we're all good now. I see nothing. Well, I'm glad it's a nice day out today. Got the door open. Because I got this good 3M seam sealer that'll give you cancer and blah, blah, blah. Good ventilation. So now I have the firewall sealed up. And the next plan of action is to get this tank where it needs to be and get the thing running. Okay, I got the trunk panel welded in. And I stuck this camper tape on here, seal it off. Oh, and I studded the back corners, and I changed this one so I could do a bolt from the bottom, because there's no way. Let's see. So here's the front side of the tank, and I welded on this nut here so I can do a bolt from the bottom, because there's no way to get my arm up and over to get this thing started while it's installed. This thing is actually pretty heavy. In theory, this old Beretta should fire up again. Okay, the rear-wheel drive Beretta lives again. Now that I have some room where I can actually open the driver door, I can get this dash out of here, get my tunnel made, all that stuff, and I can get this thing street legal.